Hi, Ricky MacMillan for Equestrian Life. Well, we're just about to be through with the Grand Prix Team Dressage. London Olympics 2012, the beginning of the final session on day 2. First into the arena was Mary Hannah riding the Sandro Hit 11-year-old gelding Sunset. Mary's highlight, certainly the passage, very good trot, half passes and extended trot. Today the pirouettes could have been a little more centred and the second piaffe perhaps a little tense. The score 67.964. I guess we were all hoping for more, but really it was a good performance. Was it going to be good enough to get Australia through into the Grand Prix Special? The top 7 teams going through. In the end it put Mary individually in 43rd place. Then came Goncalo Carvalho from Portugal riding as an individual with the Lusitana stallion Ruby, a 14-year-old. Very elastic and expressive trot, half pass and a real highlight in piaffe and passage, score of 71.52. Then came Vicky Max Teurer riding Augustin, wonderful horse with wonderful paces, homebred by Vicky's mother, Sissi Teurer. Sissi herself a winner of a gold medal in dressage in Moscow. This horse is a 12-year-old stallion by August Justaca out of a Roe Diamant mother. Elastic expressive trot, wonderful canter, great walk. Perhaps he could have had a little more ground cover in the trot, extended trot today, a little more risk taken. Super piaffe and passage perhaps could be a little more fluent from the piaffe to passage transition. The two-time changes, very expressive, perhaps could have been a little more straight. Canter pirouette's a real highlight. The first one to the left, very, very good, and the second to the right, also very good. Unfortunately today a mistake in the ones. Then into the arena from the Ukraine, Svetlana Krysliova riding the 15-year-old gelding Parish. They did a great job. He's a very elegant horse. Perhaps he could move a little more over the back and stretch a little more to the contact. Nonetheless, very small pirouettes and a highlight in the passage. Then for Spain, very successful in Kentucky at the World Equestrian Championships, Juan Manuel Munoz Diaz. Wonderful grey stallion, absolute favourite of the crowds, 14-year-old Spanish bred. Very consistent test, extravagant trot half passes, highlight in the passage, expressive changes, very good pirouettes, final score of 75.608, putting them in the end into 10th place. Today, the top 12 all above 75%, so really high standard. Next into the arena, Charlotte Dujardin for Great Britain with Vallegro. 10-year-old by Negro. Great test. Thunderous applause at the end. Really well received by the mainly British crowd. The horse had wonderfully expressive extended trot, great trot half passes, super changes, super pirouettes. The last centre line, a real highlight. Perhaps the extended walk and collected walk could be even stronger, but they were good enough. Overall, a score of 83.663, a new Olympic Grand Prix record. And there's room for improvement still. The rein-back, for instance, could have been, the transitions at the beginning and end could have been even more fluent. So a great performance into the lead, and really, Damon Hill still to come, but the crowd wondering, could it be bettered? So, next in, Stefan Peters with Ravel. Again, very successful bronze medal World Equestrian Games in Kentucky just 2 years ago. Very experienced rider, 14-year-old Dutch-bred gelding Ravel, leader of the US team. The organisers putting Pink Floyd music behind Stefan's performance, absolutely enhancing all the performances over the Grand Prix. The first piaffe perhaps could have been a little more fluent, but a highlight in the passage, very small canter pirouettes. The canter work generally quite a highlight. So a score of 77.705%. Looking good for the US team. Then Patrick Kittel from Sweden riding Scandic, another Dutch-bred stallion by Solos Carax. Very interesting horse, very powerful, perhaps could be in a little more uphill frame. Highlight with the trot half passes. The second piaffe perhaps could have been a little more fluent. He got a little bit spooky where the Canadian rider had been eliminated. So a difficult ride, but Patrick, very expert, and guided the horse through the test. 74.073. Certainly helping the Swedish team, but not looking like they'd be in the medals at this Olympics in the team event. Mind you, the Grand Prix Special still to come, so keep in mind that the team medals are over the Grand Prix and Grand Prix Special. Grand Prix all about being in one of the top 7 teams and getting through to the Grand Prix Special. Next in, of interest to Australia, Katrina Milarchik riding Ecuador, the Polish-bred stallion by Heraldic. Lovely horse, grey stallion, very well ridden, light-footed, very good trot half passes, piaffe and passage transitions a highlight, and also good changes. 69.271, enough to put the Polish team ahead of the Australian team. So looking like we'd probably be in 8th or 9th position at this stage. Next in for Denmark as an individual, Lisbeth Sires-Kilder, riding another homebred horse, Renault, 13-year-old gelding by Ragazzo. Really a combination to watch for the future. Today he was a little tense, got a little short in the neck, but a good performance for 69.863%. Another medal chance, individual medal chance, and the final rider for the Dutch team. Would they go ahead of the US and be in medal contention at this stage? Yes, they were to be there. Adelinda Cornelissen and Parsifal. 15-year-old gelding now. He's by Jazz. She was very unlucky not to represent the Netherlands in Beijing Olympics. Doing a great job today. Expressive, powerful. He's a horse that has it all. 3 great paces. The trot half pass is an extended trot. Powerful, expressive. The extended walk, perhaps he could have stretched a little more to the contact. Pirouettes, a real highlight. Piaffe and passage and transitions, also a highlight. 81.687, putting them into second place at this stage. Still to go for Germany, Damon Hill and Helen Lana Hagenberg. Another horse with 3 super paces. Wonderful stallion by Donna Hull, originally trained by Ingrid Klimke. Helen's done very well in Aachen just recently, and the final rider for the German team. Perhaps they could have had a little more bend in the trot half passes, but wonderful expressive half passes nonetheless. Super extended walk and collected walk, possibly the best of the Grand Prix class. She went a little forward in the piaffe, but the passage and transitions, very high quality. Changes also, very high quality. A small mistake at the end of the extended canter. Pirouettes, he perhaps could have had a little more energy, a little more jump. So score of 81.14, putting them into 3rd place. That was it. Grand Prix complete. We now know the teams going through to the Grand Prix Special, the best 7 teams. In the lead at this stage, Great Britain, followed by Germany, then the Netherlands, Denmark and the US, Spain and Sweden in 7th place. So, of course, that could all change, but certainly those top 3 or 4 places are looking like that's where we'll see the team medals go. Poland, Australia and Canada missing out on the team place. 11 individuals also going through. As I mentioned before, the top 12 competitors all above 75% or above. In first place so far in the Grand Prix, Charlotte Dujardin and Vallegro. Young rider, 26 years old, young horse, 10-year-old. Wonderful performance today. Adelinda Cornelissen and Parsifal, also very strong performance in 2nd place today in the Grand Prix. Helen Langer Hagenberg in 3rd place. For me, a wonderful test. All these 3 great performances. Christina Spreyer, also a super performance in 4th place. And then Carl Hester with Utopia. 2 from Great Britain, 2 from Germany, 1 from the Netherlands, reflecting the team places. So looking forward to Tuesday, the Grand Prix Special. The results for the team decided over Grand Prix and Special. See you then.